This case was prepared solely as a basis for class discussion, rather than to illustrate either effective or ineffective handling of a business situation. It is not intended to serve as an endorsement or a source of primary data. While the case is based on a real situation, all names, places, genders, the industry, and some peripheral facts might have been disguised.
The New CRM System by Jürgen Radl. Rebecca Palm sat in the office of Maria Brown, waiting for her to show up for a scheduled meeting that Rebecca had set up on a short notice. Maria, an experienced senior executive from another department, had been assigned to mentor Rebecca and was to support her in all issues related to the new project manager, PM role that Rebecca had just been promoted to. Rebecca desperately needed help. A project was derailing unexpectedly quickly, and she was hoping to get advice from her mentor, whom she would now meet for the first time after a brief introduction. Rebecca had been working for ABL, a small software consulting company, for 3 years now, and had been promoted to the PM role 5 months ago. Included in this position was the responsibility to coordinate a small team of 2 consultants and 3 junior consultants, as well as to manage direct communication with customers. Her first project, which, according to the schedule, would end in 2 weeks, had been the implementation of a customer relationship management (CRM) system for a new client. This first project had been extremely challenging and had kept her in the office even longer than the tasks in her previous positions. However, she was extremely well prepared for the challenge from her point of view. I am very familiar with the technical side of such systems, and I am absolutely convinced of the positive impact of CRM. At ABL, we are all using it on a daily basis, so we are basically taking our own medicine. Now, it seems like the medicine had some unexpected side effects, as she recalled. I have no clue why the post-implementation phase is so bumpy. From my point of view, we found the perfect system for our client. The implementation went quite well. I had already done it from the technical side in 2 other projects before. And it was kind of a copy and paste process this time, with only minor changes in the system. Now they have a perfect system in place, but they do not use it. She remembered one coffee break with Hans, the head of sales, who complained about the pressure being put on him by his boss, Thomas, the VP of sales, who seemed to be pushing the expansion of the sales team extremely hard. I have so many challenges to tackle. We are trying to move into a new market with our products, and we are so busy identifying new customers and visiting them that there is barely time to keep up with submitting the tenders for our new and existing customers. On top of this, I have to work on most of them by myself to ensure that my team is using the correct data for the offerings. They just don't seem to get it right. The sales target we have to reach for this year is really challenging. I negotiated it in my planning sessions, but Thomas pushed really hard to come up with even more challenging numbers. We've agreed on a number now, but it seems like an illusion to think we'll ever reach it. I had to reduce our spending on new salespeople to keep the margin at an acceptable level, and I had to raise the sale expectancies for the existing team members. If we do not meet the budget, I fear that our department and I will be in big trouble. The sales team is not that well established after only 1.5 years, and I don't want to lose people whom I just hired because of underperformance or worse, difficult circumstances. Unfortunately, Thomas is so focused on the numbers that he does not seem to care about the tough market situation we are in right now. However, I am convinced that things will develop in the right direction. We just need a little bit more time and to push harder, changing the attitude of the team from farming to hunting. I have to keep my people under constant pressure. Hans's last comment reminded Rebecca of a conversation between some of the field salespeople that she overheard in a break during one of the last training sessions for the system. Hans pushes so hard to reach our insane sales target that I'm wondering about his bonus scheme. He seems really eager to be on the streets himself visiting customers. Not bad at all from my point of view. He has quite a lot of contacts who seem to be useful, and to be honest, I don't mind not having him around me all the time when he is busy working outside the office. Another responded with the following. Maybe, but pushing so hard really puts me under stress, and I wouldn't mind seeing him. Right now, I feel frustrated most of the time. This is just not what I expected when I joined a month ago. They all told me that the company would provide me with a great start for my career in sales, with a lot of exciting opportunities and support. And now we have to punch all the visits into this new system. From my point of view, that's a lot of additional work that has nothing to do with sales. And the benefit? Well, they are trying really hard to sell us a system, but I have never seen anyone using it. So why should I? He, the head of sales, seems to be the best salesperson in the company anyway. I am too busy keeping up with my day-to-day work, trying not to get lost in this chaos. Rebecca, a bit annoyed, wondered if the latter was a serious issue that prevented people from embracing the system. However, it seemed like all of the affected people were praising CRM in all meetings. In the starting phase of the project in particular, with the head of sales, the VP, and some salespeople, the client seemed to be very enthusiastic. Now, however, he had stopped walking the talk in daily business. I do not know how to convince them to use the software. One of my team members came up with the idea to convince them by paying them a bonus to use the system. Another suggested that the client could lower the expectations of the sales volume or customer visits per day for a certain amount of time. This would provide the team with additional time to fill the system. Unfortunately, Thomas called me yesterday and told me that I have to fix the problem now. He put high hopes into this year's sales figures, and from his point of view, it is our responsibility as consultants to implement the system successfully. Right now, it seems to him that the project is not delivering the expected support. On the contrary, it is even making it worse. The end of the project will also be my first evaluation of my performance as a PM, and I am getting more and more nervous about the results. Pushing away her cup of coffee, which had become cold, Rebecca wondered what advice Maria would provide her with as her mentor.